Hello and welcome to Inspirations from Brighton podcast, the podcast about inspiring people from Brighton and Hove and other cities in Sussex. My name is Klara Markovicova and I will be your host and guide in this mindful and inspiring journey of different people's stories from South Coast of England. Are you ready to step onto the path to get inspired by those who have constantly been stepping out of their comfort zone in order to achieve their dreams? Without further ado, it's time to hear Inspirations from Brighton. Hello everyone, and I want to welcome you to Inspirations from Brighton, my introductory episode. My name is Klara Markovicova and I will be your host in the upcoming episodes with amazing and inspiring people, not only from Brighton and Hove, but also from the region of Sussex. I decided to start running this podcast because one of the elements of my life, which I always loved and lived, is to motivate people and to give them an inspirations that everyone can create their own life. And that's the reason why I always observed and admired different people around me throughout my life, if it was in a primary school, college, university, or in different jobs or places I used to live or travel, just like simply anywhere. My vision for this podcast is to share stories of people in our lives, people who are inspiring to us and who create our own small world a better place. So if you have any suggestions for someone who you would like to hear in this podcast, please send me an email or a private message on my Instagram channel, Inspirations from Brighton, and I will get back to you. Now, I'd like to briefly introduce myself so you have a context of my story and why I decided to open this podcast. I am personally from the Czech Republic and I really love dance, traveling, writing, just simply creating anything. I grew up in a loving family where my parents always motivated my sister and me to be a better version of ourselves and taught us that love and gratitude are one of the most powerful energy or even tools to live a creative life and follow our dreams. And as perhaps every child, I also had big dreams since early childhood. One of them was to live in England. I was about 10 when I fell in love with London, but also with New York, and I just had to watch every single movie which was filmed in these cities. I had the Union Jack flag and other British decorations in my room, and I slowly developed another big love for English language and the history of England. To my biggest gratitude, this dream came eventually true when I decided to move to Brighton right after my graduation at uni. I was 25 and excited for the new opportunities. At the beginning of my story in Brighton, I kept dancing, traveling, and creating the life I always wanted to live. I was surrounded by English native speakers, challenged to learn and understand properly as soon as possible, and just enjoy life. I had opportunities to learn different skills in different jobs, working as a waitress, barista, housekeeper, cleaner, Zumba instructor, activity leader, tour guide, activities manager, until I decided to make the step and open my own company called Travel Bright, and I started working on my own projects. In Travel Bright Tours, my vision is to give people opportunity to experience, enjoy and understand the history of England as if it was now, and also combine it with well-being and mindful lifestyle. So you not only travel to brighten up your knowledge, but also brighten your experience, your personality, be connected with your own self and be in the present moment while enjoying and admiring wonderful places around England and abroad. And now with Inspirations from Brighton podcast, I love you to enjoy the conversations and being inspired, brighten up yourself and get inspired by interesting people who you might even meet while walking on the street and without even realizing it. because I believe that each of us has the story to share. And if there is only one story, one person, one element in this podcast which will resonate with you, this will be truly special, and I'm so grateful for that. Our ancestors used to share stories and special moments from their lives while having conversations. Let's bring some of the stories from our nowadays life to the light, because I really hope that by listening to the episodes, you could feel motivated for creating your own lives. Let's listen now to the stories which were formed by the sea, in the nature, in a vibrant city, or in a quiet rural village. Let's listen to the stories of those who stepped out of their comfort zone to live their dream lives. Let's listen to the stories of locals, as well as those who moved to Sussex and became locals. Be inspired and be motivated. Thank you for being here. We are at the end of this episode of Inspirations from Brighton. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, please share the podcast with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe and review the show. I also invite you to Inspirations from Brighton Motivation and Podcast group on Facebook, where you can interact with other inspiring people and be motivated with different content shared out there. Thank you so much, and as always, I look forward to share Inspirations from Brighton with you very soon.